On today's episode of the Real Recovery Podcast, episode number 120, we are live at True Colors Recovery in Portland with a roundtable. Luciano, Ebony, and Jack are all back, and this one is something else. We are talking peer services, hope, and what it really looks like when someone shows up for you. Wait until you hear the one sentence a peer mentor said to Luciano on July 3rd that kept him from walking out of detox. Ebony has an answer for the person who says they cannot go to treatment because they will not leave their dog behind. And you need to hear it. And Jack is about to celebrate 10 years of sobriety. But first, hear where he was on a rainy day in 2015 and what he woke up to find. This is episode 120, and it starts right now.
Hello, and welcome to the Real Recovery Podcast. I'm Julie, your co-host, on this journey of healing and transformation. Together with my co-host, Peter, we dive into the heart of recovery, sharing stories that resonate with courage and inspiration.
That's right, Julie. Each episode is a new chapter in this vast narrative of recovery, and we're honored to bring them to you. But keep in mind, the perspectives you'll hear are for informational purposes only and may not reflect the views of the podcast or our partners.
Indeed, while these conversations can be a powerful part of your recovery toolkit, they are not substitute for professional medical advice. We encourage you to seek guidance from your healthcare provider for any treatment-related decisions.
And if you're facing an immediate crisis, or if you just need to talk to someone who understands, don't hesitate to call the Recovery Crisis Line at 503-223-8569. That number is also on our website. Help is available 24/7.
Now let's begin our episode
of recovery, real recovery.
Welcome to the Real Recovery Podcast. This is Julie.
And this is Peter, and we've got a big group today. It's
I'm
awesome.
so excited. We're at True Colors. We're here live, and we have 3 people that have had individual stories on our podcast, but we're here tonight to talk about options for peer services and places you can go, no matter race, color, gender, age. There's a place for you to feel comfortable.
Absolutely.
And we got Luciano here.
Hi, everybody.
And we have Ebony from 4D.
Hey, hey.
And we have Jack from True Colors.
Hey there.
And then Peter is doing extra work tonight because there's 5 mics, so he's going to be
This is our first round table, so that's pretty cool.
Put in quadruple time.
Yeah.
Since Advocacy Day, when we had
But this is
your executive director,
right.
we had.
So it isn't our first round
cool.
table, but it's something that I'd like to do more of, round tables, and get different perspectives. And when in meetings and stuff, you don't get to crosstalk, and sometimes you just, I just want to say something. But here in this environment, we can all talk and comment on each other's stuff, and it's kind of cool.
It's super cool.
Looking forward to it. Yeah.
I was super excited when you guys mentioned it last time when I was on the cast or on the pod. You guys had mentioned about it. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to do it. So
yeah, we're going to be back here in a month too, and we're going to be doing the Glam Lot to talk about how much fun you can have in recovery. Mm-hmm. And I think people think once you get sober, it's like your life is glum.
It's a death sentence.
No.
That it's over. It's not over.
It's not. It's just starting.
If that was the case, then I'd be out. I'd be out, but no, you can have a lot of fun in recovery.
So glad you're all here. Jack, thanks for having us.
My
and
pleasure.
it's great to give back to each of your organizations. 4D has really been there for us. I'm just saying, Tony, Elton, the whole gang. We've done more interviews for 4D than any other organization. So we love them. Thanks for coming back.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful. And the cool thing is you can also represent Another Chance.
Yeah.
And I love that.
A few things, actually. So that's what we're going to do today.
Maybe for our audience, because Jack, your podcast was a while back. Can you introduce yourself, say what organization you're with, and what you do?
Okay, yes. My name is Jack. I was on the podcast last year, somewhere early last year. I don't know. Time's a blur. But at that time, I was not with my current organization, which is True Colors Recovery. I've been with them for 3 months as a recovery service support coordinator. I always get them
Wow,
mixed up.
that's a mouthful.
I know, an RSSC. And pretty much, I'm here, I open it up, I close it. I am the face of True Colors, and I couldn't be more proud to be at this organization. So
I
Very
love that.
cool.
I love that a lot. And I think you have the personality for it,
thank you. I
which is always needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and for those who don't know what True Colors is, would you mind giving us a little snippet?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Really important. True Colors operates as a recovery community center. So yes, we're a community center. We're dropping people from the community who are largely LGBTQ plus, but we're not going to turn away anyone. They come here for meetings. We got a wide variety of meetings from
Truly
recovery
wide variety.
Yeah, Dharma, AA. We're going to be getting an SAA meeting. It's truly diverse. People can get a meeting. They can come in here and get some coffee. They can talk to me.
They can get some condoms. They can play pool.
And play pool and basically just be present and build community and get to know other people, which that's an important part of recovery is community.
Yes.
That's how you get sober, right? And then also we provide mentorship, and that's one of the reasons why we're here. We have 2 peer service
Peer support specialists,
support
certified
specialists,
recover mentors. Yeah.
who do amazing work here. And so, yeah, that's what True Colors is about. Yeah.
I got my CRM from 4D
Yeah.
just to have it for the podcast, and got the certification and my PSS for the podcast.
Hey.
Yeah, it was cool. I think the cool thing about True Colors, my favorite meeting here, I didn't think I could do it, is the Sunday meditation meeting. I didn't think I could sit still for 20 minutes. I'm not joking. I was like, holy shit. But there was a guy in our group who didn't leave his house much. And I said, hey, I need somebody to go to this meeting with me because he lives right near here. And so he met me here. And it got him out of his house, and it got him to the meeting. And I learned I could sit still for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
The third time I was like chilling. I'm like, but the first time I was a little nervous. And then I walk in, and it's every guy I've known for forever. Yeah. So it was crazy. But that's my favorite meeting here. I love it. Yeah.
It's a very popular meeting.
It
Meditation is so very important.
It is. And it enlightened me that I can actually do it, because Peter is a genius at it. And I'm going to tell you, it's just something that I've upped my game in the last 2 years. And I have this dude, his name is Keontae. And he's on the website through my work with meditation. And I don't know if you're old enough, but if you remember the commercial, the lime and the coconut guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, he sounds like him, and I'll be like, in the morning. So it's really good.
With the lime
Thanks,
and the
Jack.
And that's guided meditation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like guided meditation too. That's what I use.
I'm not talented
Because
enough
otherwise the
to
voices
do it
in
on
my head,
own
yeah,
yet.
they just
No,
start
yeah.
talking over everything. And I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah, no, I have to do guided.
Well, you don't have to be talented at it. It's just one of those things, like a muscle, like going to the gym. You do it and you get better the more you do it.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
true.
Yeah.
And I feel better. I go to work an hour early, so I go to the 11th floor to pray because the view is flawless. And then I go and I do the meditation at my desk. And before I deal with people that,
Test you.
that are challenging.
Okay.
I love my
Customer
company.
service, right?
Customer service can be challenging. Yeah. Ebony, where do you work? What do you do?
Hi, everybody. My name is Ebony. I'm the Multnomah County Deflection and Outreach Manager for 4D Recovery. So what my program entails is I have a team, and they go out of East County and then as well as downtown by the Central Library. And they go out and they seek out the houseless population, supply them with needs such as supplies, wound care kits, and et cetera. And we try to get them into recovery prior to them having interactions with the police force, so that we can prevent them from being incarcerated and then having to navigate a whole different system. So we just try to initiate recovery. We're like little hope dealers out there. We've had a lot of successes getting people into our 4D treatment center for same-day assessments so that we can assess their needs and then also help them navigate their pathway to recovery. So it's been great. I've had a few different roles, but I think this one's primarily my favorite because it has such a big impact when people are at the lowest that they possibly can be.
Yeah.
With Dr. Nicholas Casper.
I think
him.
that would
Me
be
too.
a challenge, at least for me, to be on the front. That's the front line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
as well.
There's harder days and there are more rewarding. When I was a mentor and a supervisor for the mentors, it was definitely more rewards. But I think what makes it more rewarding in this is because we have to really give it our all. And then it's just great to see people's light bulb go on. And they actually make that initial step in going into detox and then get out of detox and they're excited for inpatient or outpatient or whatever that looks like for them. It's way more rewarding because you're literally helping dig somebody out of the hole that they've dug themselves
Yeah,
into. It's
I
different.
bet.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
You said downtown by Central Library. Mm-hmm. So does that include by the Portland Rescue Mission and City Team on Burnside, or is it more southwest?
So the way that we're contracted is we have a parameter, like 6 blocks circumference of the library, but we do tabling events with CCC and stuff out there where we are with Portland Fire Rescue and a bunch of other organizations. And then that's where they can expand our services. But primarily we're just within that parameter.
And are you part of the program that if they have somebody that wants to go into treatment, that where all the centers meet and they come up with a place sooner than later?
I think that's the Burn Collaborative. Yeah.
Awesome. I love that.
Very cool.
They are very cool. I've actually gone to a couple of those events and just getting to see all the different treatment centers, all the different peer services that go out to do that. It's really wonderful. It's really wonderful.
We've had so many on our show, right? It's from Transcending Hope to Oxford House. There's just so many parts of it. And you don't have to be homeless.
Yeah.
You know, houseless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me be correct.
Yeah.
So tell us what you do, my man.
Hey, I'm Luciano. I am the Director of Operations over at Atlas Treatment Center. Atlas Treatment Center is an intensive outpatient facility. We have PHP, IOP, OP. We also have a DUI program. The way we kind of operate it is actually we get a lot of referrals from places like 4D. Sometimes rarely do we get people from True Colors, but and a lot of times we get referrals from the hospital, from the justice system. We just get a lot of referrals coming in and just giving people the opportunity to restart their life. So we don't have peer mentors ourselves, but we also do use other places. The peer company is one of them.
Peer service,
Peer service is really good. And then we don't have our own housing as well. We actually outsource for that. And we have about 6 or so different companies that we outsource housing for. Sober Housing Oregon, Sober Living PDX, Scalia Recovery, Northwest Recovery Homes, and the list could go on. But there is a lot out there. And so we really are just a facility that helps them learn about themselves, rebuild their confidence, get them back into society, and get them the support that they need outside of our facility as well.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I think you need the connection with outside facilities once you get sober, because if you don't get that, treatment can get you clean. I don't believe it's going to keep you clean. You have to do more work after that. You're just getting started.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need a good foundation. Ebony, my first question is for you. No, because of what you said. And
Real quick, can we have peer services defined? Because,
absolutely.
yeah, if I'm new, I don't know what peer service, or what is that? What is a peer? I think of a pier in the ocean.
Whoever, we can all chime in.
Okay.
Yeah. You just,
Cool. How I identify peer services is a peer, which is an individual who has lived experience with substance use disorder, criminality, whatever comes with the streets, and they kind of help navigate recovery and navigate self-sufficiency and reintegration into the society, into the real world.
I like that. That's great. And by having that experience, you find that it's more relatable to, or you're more relatable to people who are in need?
Yeah, to me, it like unstigmatizes their experience of being an addict. So, okay, you understand, it's like you're not judging me for the decisions and the things that I've decided to do. And my addiction can be a little bit heart-wrenching when we come to face the reality of the things that we've done and the impact that we've made on the community, whether it was negative or positive. So
one of the things we try to do with this show is to give people hope. And so we have people everybody in this room has come from some dark places, some of us really dark places, and look at where we are today. So I would think that in being a peer mentor, you would give that hope to people out there too.
Absolutely. We're all hope dealers in our own way.
Yeah. I love that.
I love that you use the word navigating, because it is very important, as I've watched with having my own experience with having a peer this last run around. It was very important to me. I didn't need help navigating and how to get resources. I was already resourceful on that. But it's for navigating, what do I do now with myself? I was doing so well. I had, quote unquote, my life together. I was doing wonderful, and then I completely lost it. And now I felt lost in myself, lost in life. I didn't know what to do. I was like, I've been sober. I've been doing it all. Like, where do I go from here? And just having someone who's been in that same position, just be like, we'll figure it out together. Let's meet up. I know you don't need my help to go get your license, or that you need help go getting some bus passes. You just need help calming yourself down and being like someone to really understand where I'm at, and just sit there with me and have some coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need that today. Like, meaning I talk to my sponsor every day, kind of what is my plan for today. And I've been sober longer than you've been alive, right? And no, I still need that. And I think peer services wasn't around when I got out of prison, okay? You had a sponsor or a program like that, or a nudge from the judge or a parole officer. And I think peer services is really good because, like you said, there's somebody that's been through it like you, and you can also see that they've done it and you can do it too. And we're a sponsor. People ask me the difference in the two.
Yeah, I was going to ask that too. What is the difference between?
Huge difference.
Yeah, very
Huge
big
difference.
It's ethical practices, to say the least.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Now, for me, it's always worked because I've always had a gay man as a sponsor that didn't want to sleep with me. So there was no 13th stepping.
Yeah.
And
it's like more than just like the sexual relationship. It's like the friendship, borrowing money. Like your sponsee, if they ask for $5 for bus fare, okay, cool. It's like more of a friendship. But it's like, we're professionals. I'm not going
And you
to
don't
let my
stay there
client
forever.
borrow $5. There's boundaries. There's like more professional boundaries. That's the biggest difference. It's just like remaining professional at all times. Sponsors are like somebody that you would have a sleepover with and eat popcorn if they're have a breakup with their boyfriend or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're not going to do that on a professional level.
I know one of the key things sponsors do is help the sponsee, go through whatever program they're in. So for AA, it's the 12 steps, and it may be 12 steps too. They help them navigate through those steps and those programs. Do you do that as well, or okay?
No,
so there's a difference there.
is it
Sponsors
is it
definitely
more
just
like
help.
barriers? If they don't have medical insurance, you're going to help them get their medical insurance. If they're going to court, you might show up with them to go to court. It's like helping remove, like,
Yeah, it's like not like helping them remove, but helping them navigate how to remove those barriers themselves. You know what I mean? We're not the eliminator of all things, but we can point them in the right direction. Our job isn't to be their friend, if that makes sense. That's why we don't do the 12 steps. It's too personal. We can be involved personally, but we can just help you navigate those situations, if that makes sense. We're not going to sit and talk about the 4th step with you and all of that trauma. We're going to probably recommend you to a counselor, like a mental health counselor and or sponsor, so that you can have somebody to share those deep situations with.
Yeah.
That
I
makes
love
sense.
that. I love that. It's good. It's really good.
Yeah, that's my experience. Definitely a sponsor is just someone who's going to take you through those steps, and they can take it as far as they want to build a relationship, or they can keep it just at the bare minimum of going through steps and meeting up every once in a while to go through them. I've had both sides, and it just really depends. But with peer mentorship, I think it's definitely a resource that can be provided by an organization to help you, again, navigate through wherever you are in life. When I went to, actually before I even went to detox, when I was getting out of Providence Hospital for the second time, I finally knew a person that had met at a True Colors meeting who worked for a peer company. And I started moseying my way there to figure out what to do next. And she gave me a team that helped me figure out where I was going. Am I going to go back? Am I going to detox? Am I going to sober housing? Am I going to go to treatment? I didn't want to see people. I didn't want to talk to people. I just had a 10-day bender of losing myself. And I said, you know what, detox. And they got me into detox that day. And while I was in detox, they had the 2 people on my team figuring out where am I going to go after. I was stubborn. Didn't want to go to treatment, but they're like, it might be a good solution for you. And I remember one day in there on 4th of July, the day before 4th of July, I was like, I could leave now if I want. And the peer mentor was like, in reality, if you leave now, you may not come back. Right. And that was all I needed to hear. Because if I had stepped out July 3rd, I probably would have been at it for another, who knows how long, or if I would have ever made it back. And then when I got out, they had someone come pick me up. They already had a sober home if I wanted it. We looked at other options. And again, I was still super stubborn. I was just mad. And just having them guide me through that and finally landing into a sober home is just a big help. Like a big help that I wouldn't receive at first, but I'm very thankful for.
I think it helped you set a foundation.
It definitely did.
And that person is amazing. They've been on our podcast,
Yes.
Terry.
Terry is great.
Yes, my girl. She's amazing.
Yeah.
How it does, give me an idea. I'm curious. You're not the first point of contact. So how does someone, take me through, I know I need help. What do? I call a number or I go walk into a facility?
Yeah. So that would be me. For me, for my organization, I'm the person that answers the phone. And oftentimes I get people who are still in jail or they're in treatment and they want to know what they can do before they get out. And they see true colors and they want a mentor. Sometimes it's under a condition that they can't leave until they have that lined up. But what ends up happening for me is that I become a lot of people are emotional. They're in that stage and they don't know exactly what the first step is. So for me, I simply, when asked, I tell my story. I just lead by, okay, this is that. And sometimes they'll have specific questions, and I'll answer those questions about what meeting should I go to. Well, I'll ask another question back. Well, what interests you? And when they know I'm listening, they speak. And they get a lot off their chest. And that is so fulfilling to just be that person. From there on, I hook them up I take down their information. I talk to one or both of our mentors and they're assigned them. And then our mentors call them or get in contact with them, or sometimes it's the parole officer and case manager. And they'll do an intake and then I'm done. And then the next person will come in, walk in, or call, and here I am.
Start it all over again.
I'm the glue. And it's such a wonderful job. It's so wonderful to see people light up.
I bet.
I'm a little jealous. I didn't have anybody to call like that from prison. I'm just saying.
There is a lot of resources right now, which is beautiful.
Can I tell you? And I was so ashamed going to prison when I first got out, and I just went to get off parole. That's all I wanted. And then I decided to stay. Now I'm like really grateful for that time out because I needed it, and it probably saved my life. Because I'm scared to go out because I'm afraid if I wouldn't make it back, or would I die? And so it's a healthy fear, but I just want to stay. But I think that's cool. They can call you from jail. That's hella cool. Call Jack from jail. Just saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Jack's phone blows up on Monday because,
Hey, Jack, I heard. Yeah.
I heard on this podcast you can.
Yeah. Please call me from jail. Yeah.
And what if you don't think they're the right fit for True Colors? Do you hook them up with someplace else?
You know what? So True Colors can be the right fit for anyone. We will take on anyone. And we have heterosexual people who come in and take our services. Pretty much, I don't make that that
Got it.
choice, that determination, I leave that for our mentors.
Got it.
Yeah. But I just want to actually get them in. Like if you come in, that's like half the battle. And then we can figure out where you're placed afterwards. But we got to get them to the center.
No, I understand. That's great. I love that nobody's turned away. It's one of my favorite things about Another Chance, too. If you don't have insurance, John's not going to turn you away. Yeah. He's going to get you in the door still. People say, oh, if you don't have insurance, treatment will be cut off. That's not true. That's not necessarily true. It does help, don't get me wrong. And they'll get you some, but I love that no one's turned away.
Yeah, over at Atlas, we'll scholarship people as well. We don't try to turn away anybody. The whole point of us building the center in the first place was to build a community where people get help and that we can help navigate them through the services. So it makes it fun.
I love that. Yeah. I do. I don't think people realize now how many services there are.
Yeah.
And
There's tons.
It is. You just have to make the choice to reach out. What you see out there doesn't necessarily have to be.
You, Ebony, you indicated that you are the first point of contact. So how does it work? Like it's with Jack, someone calls in or they come in. For you, you're actually going to them. So how do you move forward with someone who needs help?
We do a whole lot of assessing as soon as we approach either a campsite or just an individual in general. So we'll assess their needs from head to toe. We'll do a quick scan, see what their clothes are looking like, offer them showers and stuff like that. Primarily, we're just building relationships. Okay. A lot of people at first, especially when they're out on the streets, are really reluctant, whether it's due to mental health or previous trauma with treatment, such as like detoxes and so forth. And then we'll ask them what their needs are. Some of them will be ready, but they're like, oh, I just want a smoking facility. And sometimes they'll try to use that as an excuse because they know that there's not a lot of smoking facilities, but just so happens that there are. And we have really good relationships with those facilities. And we're like, okay, bet, that's what it's going to take. Let's call them right now. Wow. And so it's just going back out and just letting them know that like we mean no harm, that we care for them, and we want to see them do good. And sometimes we'll interact with the same person multiple times a week before they finally say yes for months. We've been recently working with these individuals for almost a year, they're brothers, and it took us almost a year to get them finally into detox. Wow. They're like, we want to go together. And a lot of treatment facilities won't take like couples or siblings because of the codependency situation. So that's always been a barrier, but we just somehow figured it out. And they ended up going, and then one of the brothers ended up leaving early, which made the other brother leave early. And it was because of that situation right there and them going back out, one of the other brothers decided to leave and do his own thing and got into detox on his own without his brother after that situation, and was like, now I understand what you guys have been talking about for the last year on why we couldn't do this together. And he's doing great today.
That's so cool.
I love that. My question that I was going to ask you earlier, because you're out there in direct contact, and this is for me, and is it hard? For me, I choose not to kick it with people in active addiction. It's one of my safest boundaries, and it's worked for me for a long time. And there's going to be somebody on our show in a couple weeks that I've walked away from a few times because I knew they were high, right? And they're like, can I get a hug? And I'm like, fuck no. For real. Like, I'm not hugging you. We were talking about germs earlier. It's coming out in your pores. I'm scared. And is it hard working with active addiction? Once you're detoxed, I'm cool, okay? And my philosophy is always, I'll meet you at a meeting, right? Because it's safe. And I take the safe route. I'm just being honest, and I feel like it's an opportunity for me. But how does that work for you?
Me personally, I don't mind it at all. And even since the very beginning of my recovery, I've had this innate desire to not necessarily intentionally be around individuals who are high, but I still associate with the people that I used to run with because I want them to know that, for one, I remember where I came from. And for two, I want you to be so inspired by the life that I live today that one day you have faith and the courage to reach out to me if you decide to change your life. And then it's also a gentle reminder to me, not even a gentle, it's like a huge slap in the face every time I'm out there, what my life could be like if I decided to go backwards.
Right.
And that's my daily reminder. I don't need anything else, because I'm literally in the middle of the battlefield almost every day. And I just know, and I'm just grateful for my life today.
I think that's courageous, just so you know. And I've operated differently. Mind you, I had a different job, right? I'm working my way up running a company, being someone's boss, a lot of people's boss. So it was a little different situation. And like I said, there wasn't CRMs then. It wasn't until I came here. I was here for the ice cream. I'm not going to lie. They were having 50 licks here, right?
Oh, nice.
For free ice cream. And a bunch of my friends were performing in the drag show. And so I met my friend Marty here, and then a bunch of my crew from the meeting. And we went and got ice cream, but Amanda spoke that night and Tony spoke, right? And when Tony, we didn't have the podcast then. When Tony spoke and introduced Amanda, right? And he was like, straight from prison, right? And I'm like, dang, I could do this, right? I went to prison and I didn't even realize like all the opportunities in recovery now from the places I had been, and how that you didn't have to be judged by your past, right? That's what you did when you were high. It's not who you are now. And I think a lot of people don't realize that when the shame comes. I had a lot of shame at first. I didn't want one associated with the other. I didn't go around work saying, hey, by the way, I went to prison. I did some time and I was an IV drug user, where in your field, it's okay.
I talk about it so much when I'm with regular people. I just so happen to bring it up. And it's amazing, the conversations and the truth that'll come out of people that we deem as regular that never look like they would do such a thing. And it's just like, wow, there's a lot of people who share similarities and common grounds. And we would never even know it if we ourselves just aren't transparent with our own truth.
I am now. I will tell you, since our first
Since we bared our souls
our first two podcasts,
to the world.
Peter did his first, right? And I did mine second, and I'm like, shit, everybody's gonna know now, right? I felt like I was stripping on a stripper pole in front of the world, because the podcast goes everywhere.
But it's freeing also. For me, it was very freeing.
I wear my podcast shirt to work, and they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah. And when I went to vacation a week ago, they're like, you're going on vacation? I'm like, yeah, I'm celebrating my 29th AA birthday. That deserves a vacation. And I'm proud of it. It's like a badge of honor now.
I underestimated how many people, local people, listen to this, because after my episode aired, there were so many people who would hear me in meetings say my name is Jack, and then would tell me things that were deeply personal that I had divulged on air, and tell me these things. I'm like, who the hell are you? They're like, oh, I heard your show. And I'm like, oh, did I really say that? Oh, shit.
People come up to me all the time and be like, you know, the podcast changed my life. Yeah. And the purpose in the podcast, because me and Peter haven't made a dime, okay? The podcast has cost us money, so please know that we haven't done it for those reasons. We have jobs to pay our bills. But our whole purpose was like, if you're in a car and you're wondering what to do, hopefully one of our stories will help you. And because we do stories in all different kinds of recovery, no program is the same. Yeah. And you know what's so funny? Our mutual friend from Australia, right?
Oh, yeah.
Our podcast is 32nd in Australia. And David, we sent him cards and a podcast shirt. And it's cool to think that people around the world, and we don't know anybody in Portugal, and we're pretty popular there too.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
So when we say around the world, you can get Spotify, YouTube, Apple, and it's free. It's crazy. Yeah. And our podcast last week works for Peer Services, Aaron Burrell, and he said he too shared things he's never shared before, ever, on the podcast. And Ebony, I want to tell you something.
Yes.
Your podcast, I tell Peter this all the time.
She does.
Your podcast changed my life. And I carry resentments pretty good, okay? And I'll cuss you the fuck out if you piss me off, right? And in the real world, I'm so professional in the professional world. But I was really mad at my mom because I went to the nannies from 6 months to 11, and that's where I was molested from 5 to 11. But despite that, I went to a Catholic school. I played sports. I had structure, right? And your podcast let me feel blessed for what I had. I'm just telling you. And it made me get rid of the resentment and kind of think she did the best she could despite that. And I'm super grateful for that, because now, instead of having resentment, I remember a lot of the good things. And it started to happen after your podcast.
I appreciate you.
No, I'm dead serious. I say it all the time. It really changed my life. And I appreciate that. And it's a big resentment to hold on for a long time. My mom's been dead for 21 years. And it also made me super grateful that my daughter never saw me high, right? And I got to break that cycle. And it is possible. It is. And so I want to thank you. I really do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I find so fascinating, awesome about recovery is that essentially once you get past the cravings and you start doing the healing, your life, you are introduced to a life that is beyond your wildest dreams. And you get to feel all the feelings because you've done the work to feel the feelings. And life becomes technicolor. It becomes just so vivid and so beautiful. And that's the beauty of like Real Recovery Podcast here. All of these stories. And that's why I love going to meetings too. I get to hear stories from other people and I get to feel for them. I get to root for them when they do good. I get to be there for them when they're not feeling their best. And that is so reparative to me. And I used to drink to feel that closeness. I used to drink to feel that, and I get to feel all the emotions. I'm really happy that I did this, that I got sober. So, for those reasons.
No, I agree with you. And I think there's different stages of my recovery, and I think you talk about this. There's times where it's just been enough to not do drugs, and then there was times to be professionally successful and be a mom, and then going to IOP sober later on was eye-opening. I wish I could have done it sooner, but I realized a lot of patterns that I had. And my daughter did the podcast on Thursday night. Yes. And I was telling Peter, that I didn't realize, right? She was talking about she had so much structure because I was her mom. And she played 3 sports and was in Girl Scouts. But when she went to college, she lost her high school popularity and identity. And that's when she got into other stuff. And it's the same. When I went down to Portland State and I left high school going downtown, that's when I got into stuff too. And the similarities, you leave what's comfortable and your crew, and then you find acceptance other places. For me, it was the City nightclub. That was an education within itself.
Yes, it was.
It really was. I learned how to sell dope there, dance, escort service, go to prison. It was an education.
It sounds like a school. Like it
actually was. It was a good time until it wasn't. Yeah.
I performed there, did a Devo performance there.
I saw Peter.
Really? We all have these weird tie-ins to that club.
I saw Peter perform there, and then
before we even knew each other.
Yeah, and I danced with these 2 guys in this dance group, and we performed at Darcel's and Amber's in the city. It's crazy. This was before I did IV drugs.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy
I didn't
stuff.
know that about you, Peter.
He was
I was in
Rose
the-
Empress something. What were
I was
you?
King of Seas for the Emerald Court of Seattle.
Wow.
In 89, I think it was. Or anyways, I'm going to date myself for that. But yeah, and so we came down and we did performances. And so we came down to Portland and
Yeah.
and that was one of the performances. And we did
And
this Devo
Poison
number.
Waters fell through his ceiling.
Yes.
Telling people's business on here. Oh my gosh. I got to see pictures. I have to see. So do you have them
I don't
laying
think
around
there's
somewhere?
any picture. See, I was lucky and cursed, but lucky that there was no cameras, no cell phones, no Facebook. Thank God, because
I just got a video from Rosie Waters on Night Scene. I showed it to Peter.
Oh,
And it was, oh my God, hideous. It was. Seeing it was like scarring. I called Peter. Yeah, it was scarring.
That was definitely a whole different type of peer services for sure. Different kind. But I made it through.
Yeah. And it's so funny because you went to the second stage.
Yeah, the second
I was
wave
at the
of it.
original. Yeah. That's,
I mean, it served its purpose. I learned a lot.
look, me too.
Learned a lot, and I'm very thankful for it.
I made a few friends that I still have there. And I met Poison when she was 18.
Really?
Oh, she was flawless.
No way.
When she was 18, she would walk across the sidewalk and she would stop traffic. I'm telling you, straight brothers would get out of their car to talk to her. And she'd be like, you don't want none of this. I'm just telling you, she was looking like pebbles in the video. She was like, whoa. Yeah. It was crazy.
Wow. History.
Yeah. I love it.
yeah.
So, what could you recommend to our listener, right? That isn't as lucky as us, right? What,
Yet.
Yeah.
that they could do. Like, Jack, you said they could call you here.
Yeah.
What else do you think they could do to get into place?
To get into places? Just remembering that they're there. I think one thing Ebony had mentioned, right? Not everyone's ready when you're out there. I've done some outreach and some people aren't ready. But the simplest hi, how are you doing? Here's a snack. All right, I'll be over there if you want to see me later. Or just the constant reminders, like knowing that when you're ready, they will be there. My building's not moving. Your guys' buildings aren't moving. And you guys we're there whenever you are. And that's the biggest thing is just because we stop by once doesn't mean that we're going to forget about you.
Well, and
or that we're going to
4D
ignore
is
you.
growing. 4D is everywhere. I'm just saying, and it started in this building. If you do your CRM training, Tony does the mouth health. The videos here building. And Elton worked here in this building first. It's crazy. And now there's how many buildings, and it's down south and it's in Jackson County,
Yeah,
which
huge.
I love the person, whoever does the videos for Jackson County. They are fly and they are cool. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I do know who you're talking about, but I don't know that individual. I think I've
But
only
the
met them like
videos
once.
are bomb. I'm always watching them. They're really good.
They're pretty, yeah.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about too?
I've seen the videos. I don't know who you're talking about exactly.
Yeah.
Is that the person you're talking about?
I don't know them. I just think they make cool videos.
Okay.
I want to go to events in Jackson County because they're videos, okay? Which is cool. That the generation that we have now really relates to that.
Well, 4D and True Colors, like specifically when I was going through treatment or even when I was a house manager, like they're sick because they have centers, but they have recovery centers where you can go and they have events all the freaking time. There's karaoke events, there's dancing events. I think I went to an EDM event once out to the Hillsborough Center. Like I went all the way from Southeast all the way there just to check that out. And there's always something going on at the centers, right? Always accepting, always loving. I was going to say almost open, but that's not true. But they're always welcoming, right? And even if you have used, you haven't, obviously there is some parameters around that. But nonetheless, when I was managing people at the house, I'd always recommend them to 4D out to the Smith Center, or I'd recommend them over here at True Colors if they want to still dance but didn't know where to go, or they want to still live their drag fantasy and watch drag queens run around and perform. There's all the options. I honestly have gone to a couple of those events with people in my house, and just to see the community that they get to build with all these other people, from whether they are in treatment or they're just someone that lives down the street that is struggling to figure out if they're ready. It's somewhere safe to be. And knowing you're not alone is pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. It is. You never have to be alone. That's the great thing.
You never have to be alone. What I love about True Colors is that this place is walk-in. We're open from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday through Friday. Saturday being, I'm doing the whole thing, but Saturday being the only day that our doors are closed. We welcome you in, and all you have to do is just show up and you'll meet someone, go attend a meeting, sit down, rest yourself, play some pool, have a conversation, because that conversation can save your life. I've had so many people in the short time that I've been here, had so many people come here, and I am open to hearing wherever you've been, because I've been there too, or I've been in a close proximity to it. And I will tell you, in the last 2 weeks, I've had about 3 people who've come in and they've said, I've had a conversation and they said, you know what? I'm so glad that I came here instead of going for a drink. Had my dealer on speed dial. So I just say, make contact with someone else. Don't be afraid to make contact. Get out of your house and just make contact.
Yeah, 4D was making jewelry this weekend, resin jewelry. I was looking at that and I was like, oh, the podcast is at the same time. I want to make some jewelry. No, they come up with some good events too. I think that fellowship, no matter which program, just your peers, is so important, because you can have fun in recovery.
Right.
Like, I met you at Recover Out Loud, which was our craziest event we've ever done. Just recording there, right? There's rappers on the stage and we're trying to record. Peter interviewed Futuristic. And I don't think Peter was expecting that night. Yeah.
No. And there was some other thing going on the stage, and I was just like, okay, if this comes out, it's a miracle. And it did.
It did. And
it was amazing.
It was crazy. And we had Skylar on the podcast, but we got to see him perform that night for the first time. I got to dance with you after the rapping contest. That was amazing. And I got to hear you speak that night. And that wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for an event. Just think, like, how crazy is that? And it was good. And I would like to, speaking of which, 4D is having Skylar at the Vancouver site on June 13th. I'm very excited for that. I love him. I like we do cover. Yeah. I like that brand.
So you know what? I don't want to leave here without highlighting some of the awesome things that our two mentors, Mordecai and Leo, who both wanted to be here. Yes. They do some amazing things. And since I've been working, I've seen them work one-on-one with the people who come through here. And with Leo, I've seen Leo walk through, especially with our transgender community, people who are just discovering that they're trans and getting sober at the very same time can be such a hardship. Yeah. Both Leo and Mordecai are trans and both have communicated to me that one of the gifts of doing what they do is that they're able to walk people through the trans process while getting sober and see people through surgery, through bottom surgery, top surgery, whatever it is in the affirmation journey. They're there. And that's so unique. I think that is unique to True Colors, is that we're here for that. We have that lived experience.
I do think that's great. We've had a couple people from here on our podcast that are part of the trans community. Yeah. We've had a few. And shout out to the Glam Lot too. that holds it down here.
Oh, yeah. They did a great, was it like a month ago? They did drag karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was so amazing. It was great. It was well attended. We had 60 people here, maybe even a little bit more.
It was packed, but I've been here a couple times, and it was packed as well. They pull them in.
Yeah.
And Carrington
yeah.
used to be the secretary of our home group.
Yeah, Carrington. And from my understanding, Carrington and company will be on the podcast coming up.
And Becca, too,
And
who
Becca,
did our podcast as
Becca.
well.
Yeah.
I love it.
All that to say, we are not a glum lot.
We are not a glum lot.
We are
No, not a glum lot. I sang
We can have-
karaoke.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I sang karaoke.
I just rap. I can't sing. I can dance.
Sober, though. Sober. I
Yeah.
never thought I could do karaoke sober.
Ironically, karaoke is a lot more fun sober.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I'm like, I thought drinking would really help me just be better at it, but I don't know. I feel like I care less now that I'm sober. I'm like, I don't care. You know what? Everyone's here to have fun. It's not a performance
There we
stage. This
go.
is an American Idol. We're here to just freaking have fun. And I get actually more wild. And I think it's
Well,
it
and
took a while to get there, but I definitely have more
Cassandra
fun.
says the best thing is she remembers it.
Yeah. Yeah.
She thinks she's the karaoke queen.
Ask me what I sang.
What do you sing?
My neck, my back. I did.
Yep.
My
See?
neck.
See?
My back. My. I don't know why I hesitated.
Oh
It's
my
like
God,
worse.
it was so fun.
It's by Khalees.
Yeah, no, Kia. I think her name's Kia. No,
No.
Khalees does the milkshake song.
She does that song too, I'm pretty sure. When she was married to Nas.
Oh, I know my shit. Don't you try to school me.
Look, I could be wrong. We'll have to ask my phone later.
I love you so much. You
You know what's really cool? Does anybody have GPT chat on their phone?
Can neither conform nor deny.
If you do, if you ask, it's really cool. I heard it last night. But if you ask, do you know about the Real Recovery podcast? It says, Peter and Julie are compassionate and share stories of recovery. And I'm
Really?
like, GPT chat knows us. And then it says, Peter just survived throat cancer. And I'm like, they know Peter. And it's just.
Our lives are very public now.
Yeah. And I was
no
like,
private.
oh my God. Yeah, crazy.
tribulations.
Getting back to the peer services, I'm curious, what are some of the questions that you get? And by asking that, I'm hoping that it'll help people maybe who are listening who are afraid to ask or think maybe what their questions is not something they would ask or appropriate. Or so if you can share some of the questions you get asked, maybe that'll help some people out.
I know one that I've heard them ask about when I refer them to peer services. Hey, can they pay my rent? That's one that I get a lot of. So there is some resources that peer mentorship can help guide you get to, but they don't personally pay for your rent. There's some that have some funding for that, but not all peer services are the same. It all depends on where their funding is coming from and how you have to go about that and whether you are engaged in their services or not. But it's not just a place where they hand out a house voucher for you to get into your own apartment, essentially.
No, totally.
Yeah.
At least
That's a
the
great
that
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, wasn't it on our last interview? Yeah,
That was part of the reason it enticed them to go to treatment.
they're like, oh, I can get help with my mortgage and stuff. And then it turned out that because you own your own home, it's a mortgage. There was no assistance for that. It was only for people who are in apartment type situations. At least
I have a question for you. What if I come to you and I say, I don't want to leave my pet?
Oh,
Because I wouldn't. I didn't have him when I got sober, but I'm just saying, I would be so worried about my pet. What do you say to that?
So go ahead. Luckily for us, when they come into our treatment center, we finally have connected with a housing provider that does accept dogs, which is Galea Housing. Again, we scholarship people to get into housing while they're in services with us. So if there's availability there, then we help them through that navigation.
what was it called again?
Galea.
Galea.
Yeah, Galea Homes.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, so luckily they have that. But the resources for there's not very many housing providers that do have that option.
That's what I was
liability, lots of people, then you have lots of animals. That's animals and people recovering. That's a lot.
No, and I know that Oxford House has some houses where you can have, maybe not everybody has a pet, but one person can have their pet or something. So,
Yeah.
because I'm not leaving my man Duke. Yeah, no.
So we've found that to be one of the biggest barriers with the houses community. Most everybody has like a cat or a dog. We've been seeing a lot of cats recently. And sadly, there are resources where like a organization will foster your animal. But a lot of the times we will post like anonymous Facebook posts like in little pet groups and see if there's anybody willing to foster somebody who's trying to get into recovery's animal for X amount of time. That's really only if we know that they can get in somewhere so that we can give a potential foster like a time frame, a realistic time frame. But that is a really big barrier.
What a big opportunity for someone, right? Though you wouldn't have to take this pet on forever, right? But to help this person get into treatment and be the godmother of this pet.
Yeah.
That is a great, Ebony. That would make me, you know what I'm saying, if I was on the street with my dog, which I see it all the time, but if I knew my dog was going to be okay while I went to get to be okay, that would be a huge barrier lifted for me. Yeah, because if I'm homeless, I'm taking my pet to my tent and just letting
Right?
you know.
Yeah, for so many people, their pets,
Are everything.
that's their only link. That's the buddy that's been with them through the worst of their addiction, who's stayed.
Yeah.
Where the family has gone, the pet is still there. And so it can be as Ebony said, a barrier to leaving treatment and like, where am I going to go? Where am I going to get housing? To am I going to go into treatment because I have a pet? Can I even do it? I'd like to see more of that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Definitely more organizations that could help house pets, because before everyone starts running to Glee and trying to get in there, there's some parameters, right? You can't just bring Koju. Someone who hasn't had their shots, someone who hasn't been neutered. There's someone who's a super huge dog. Like there is some parameters with that. So I think if we had more organizations who could foster animals while people are in treatment, would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. Maybe that's something we can help with.
Yeah.
No, seriously, by emailing us and letting us know that if you could do that, I think that would be an amazing thing. Yeah. And I think that is a huge barrier, because I see a lot of the houseless community treat their pets better than themselves.
Yeah.
And I carry blankets
for
in my
sure.
car and treats, and I'll go give them, if it's cold, to the dog for real, just to make sure. So I carry coats for people, but blankets for dogs. I do. I try to carry them in different sizes, and I know if mine will fit anybody. It'll be like a sleeping bag because I'm bigger, right? So I carry some coats, but that is a really good point.
Yeah.
And maybe we can get, maybe our future goal as these people is to get some more places like that.
More fostering.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
You
But you
carry coats?
I do.
Really? Really?
Guess who taught me that?
Who?
My man, Al.
Oh, yeah?
Al always carries a coat in case he sees somebody cold on the street, whether they want to be sober or not. He wants them to be warm.
Can I tell a small little story?
Sure.
Though? So, in my addiction, when I was homeless, way back, so 2015, Holgate Max Station, it was raining cats and dogs, and I was wearing shorts and a tank top. I was soaking wet, and I put my shirt over my legs so I can like crawl up like a ball, and I passed out. And when I woke up, there was a brand new, warm, puffy coat around me. Like they zipped it up. I don't know, I must have been really passed out. But it almost, yeah, when I think about it, it stirs something in me. But yeah, someone got me a brand new Coke because I saw and saw that I was in need. I don't know who that person is, but thank you.
That's amazing.
My new company. I've always been involved with Snowcap. Snowcap serves like 18,000 families a lot now. And my new company, we collected over 100 codes for them. And I don't care whether you're using, you're sober, what your journey is. I don't want you to be cold. Yeah. That's the worst. If you're hot, you can take your clothes off and you're good, right?
Yeah.
But if you're cold, I don't want you to be cold. Yeah.
What are some other barriers or questions, or are there other that stand out to you that someone may think, oh, I can't call them because I have this situation?
One that I get to is, oh, I can't come into services because I'm high, or, oh, I just got high this morning, I can't. Like for us, obviously we can't assess you for that reason, but it doesn't mean that just because you can't today doesn't mean you can't tomorrow.
Okay.
A lot of times people are like, what do I do with my stuff? How do I go about, I have all these other things I got to get done, like all these appointments or court hearings, things like that. And so we'll work with you to figure out those times. We're an outpatient, so it doesn't mean that you have to be here. You have to live here. Right. You can still work that, but sometimes people worry about what little they do have or the things that they do have to take care of, that those aren't options anymore. And they're like, it kind of shies them away from even trying to attempt to get in.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah.
We had a guest on they had their tent and their camping spot and they didn't want to give it up. So how do you handle that? How do you approach someone like that and what do you tell them to help turn them around?
In that situation in particular, we usually will just try to lure them in with an assessment. Okay, cool, you don't have to leave your stuff today, but let's at least go get an assessment. I just need an hour of your time. Let's see where you're at, see how you feel, and see where you're recommended to go. And then so we can start to coordinate a plan for you so that we know how to care for your things for when you do end up going to where you need to go. And usually that'll get them going and their wheels turning. And there are a lot of resources for people to store their belongings. I think there's there's a facility downtown off of Grand, and individuals can get their own locker to store their things, which is pretty cool. I know that the Pathway Center, which is a 24-hour sobering / deflection center, they can bring whatever they have. I've had clients bring a whole cart of whatever, and they'll store it there while they're sobering for 24 hours and so forth. And sometimes if one of our clients is going into detox and they have a big bag of whatever, we'll store it in our storage until they get out of detox or until they call us and tell us that they need their stuff back. We don't do that often, but we will make those sacrifices for them so that they know that, hey, we will go as far as you will go. If you're willing to put in the work, we will figure it out.
As Jared says, we'll meet you halfway. Do no harm.
What I have observed in our houseless community, though, is that there's a distrust of places, of institutions, especially when you have been on the streets for so long. You start to, I've observed people, you value your autonomy and that you're able to do for yourself. You're able to get yourself around, even if you have to go to food lines. It's hard for you to get laundry, clothes, yada, yada, yada. But you know that you have yourself, that you are basically your main resource in a way. And that there's this, however, when they get involved with services, they're afraid that they're going to have this other entity that's involved in their lives. If that makes sense.
It does, but do you think that's because there's a lack of trust?
Yeah, it's the lack of trust in institutions, and so I think it's really important to model, especially if you've been through the system, to model that it's not that bad, or you can, that you get what I'm saying, or what, help me out on that.
I know exactly what you're talking about. We'll hear. So our best line is, we'll get you help today. We can get you in somewhere today. And they're always like, that's what everybody says. Or they'll make a phone call or they're always full. They're always full. But our staff, we build such great connections with our community partners that we will call every single option all the way out to the beach. You know what I mean? And it's okay. All of a sudden we have this beach plug. You want to go get some detox over on the shores or something like that. And they'll even come pick you up. And I think it's just really meaning what you say and showing up when it really matters.
There we go.
And that's what rebuilds trust. And that's why people stick with us and they want to work with us. When they see us outside, they will run up to us. They will migrate over towards us, and we'll just have a flock of individuals like, oh, can you help me get this today and get this today? They're actually excited to be working with us because they know that we're going to deliver, which I really value about 4D and everybody that I work with.
Yeah, I like them too.
I think showing up,
Yes.
no matter what you're in, who you are, showing up is so huge. And keeping your word.
Keeping your word.
Because if your word isn't worth something, what do you have? It's almost like there are things you can't buy. A good work ethic, there's things you just can't buy.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're looking at you. They're looking at you. When I'm on that other side of the counter, they are expecting me to say what I mean, what I say, and to model the best of recovery because they want to know it can happen for them. Lead by example.
That's why I'm always honest, right? I don't have it together just because I've been sober long, right? I'm still working on it. Like I said, I went to IOP sober for mental health. Just because you get sober doesn't mean you have it all together instantly. You have to work at stuff and stay with it. It's just not like poof. And I think people, like you said, you got everything together and stuff. Sometimes when that happens too quick, you don't value the journey. I know that none of it has just been poof. It's been a lot of hard work and staying sober and working on new things all the time. I try to add something all the time. Lately, it's been meditation. Our podcast on Thursday night, the person was talking about this affirmation and these things they work on, and it was super good. It was something I hadn't heard before. I'll have somebody come on that's fitness is their thing in their sobriety, and it makes me seriously want to work out more. You know, I might not be able to go run a marathon, but I walk 5 times, 6 times a day now. I walk at my lunch hour, just trying to up my game in little ways. And I think when you do that, you can keep adding stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's the beauty of recovery for me is that in my addiction, I used to think that it's like driving on a car with a busted taillight and wheel. You're thinking, this is as good as it's going to get. But in recovery, I know I can do better and be better. And if you can get 1 month, you can get 2. If you can get 2, you can get 12. If you can get 12 months, you can get 3 years. Sky's the limit. You don't have to be broken. You can become whole. And that is definitely the message that I like to get out there by just being myself. And soon, like next week, I'll be celebrating 10 years of continuous sobriety.
Yes.
I don't know how I got here. I don't know, but it happened.
1 day at a time.
1 day at a time. And if it can happen for...
And sometimes it's 10 minutes, depending upon what you go through, right?
Some days it's 10 seconds. Fool.
I have these coins that this person gave us on our podcast that says 10 minutes at a time. And I see somebody stressing and I'll be like, here you go.
Here you go.
Yeah.
You need this.
Yeah.
And I'm emotional. I understand. I really do.
Is there a story of hope, a success story, if you will, that sticks out for any of y'all that you could share?
Other than your own amazing
I mean,
stories.
of being in that peer role and coming in contact with a person and then just seeing them through to the other side.
I had, try to do it without disclaiming anything. I had a client once who, in the beginning of our treatment opening up, he was one of our first people coming in, and he had a hard time just staying sober. But we were like, we're here for you. How can we help you? And it wasn't until he got a 4D mentor that I think that's when things, it didn't change right away, right? He'd get his using start to drop less and less, but then he started to have someone that would go to meetings with him and would have a place of community other than our treatment facility, because our treatment facility was super small, but 4D was huge. So they had somewhere to go all the way out in Gresham and go there. And to see that consistency, to have that person come pick them up, take them to go do whatever resources they needed, or to a meeting, or out to the center, that was really cool. And 6 months later, after them just back and forth trying to figure it out, they finally got it. And I see this person every once in a while out at the gym and stuff. And to see them still have that support, they still go out there and they still hang out with those people, it's beautiful. And it's crazy, sometimes it takes people that long. It took them over and over, and some people are like, I don't know if he's gonna make it. Some people are like, just have faith in this guy. You know he's showing up high as hell, but at least he's showing up, and at least he's still engaged, and at least he's still willing to participate in those services that we got him engaged with. And the fact that 4D had the patience too, we're not here just to try once and give up. We're here to keep giving.
There's somebody that
cool.
came to our meeting frequently, and they'd go out often, and I would pray and pray to be wrong. Because I was like, I'm not sure. And sure enough, the more I prayed, the longer they've stayed sober. And I love being wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's the one time that I want to be consistently wrong, that they can do it. Because I see a lot of people come in and never come back. I see a lot of people come in and stay, and their life improves. And I've kind of seen it all, but I always pray to be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not be judgmental. Yeah. Your story, Ebony?
Man, I was over here pondering. When I used to work directly in services, with direct services, as a mentor, I had so many success stories. I'm very passionate about helping women navigate the DHS system and stuff like that, because I know the turmoil that you go through as a parent, like when you're on the verge of losing your child or children, and or when they do actually get taken, and the hoops that you have to jump through. And there's been many women that I've worked with who have navigated the detox, then the inpatient. Letty Owings, I was up there every day. They should have given me my own room at one point, because I felt like I mentored almost the whole complex at one point. And then just watching them rebuild their lives. I can't pinpoint one exactly. I loved being a mentor. It was so rewarding.
Do you miss it?
I do. I really do. And where I'm at now, I have a little tiny caseload. I'm not technically supposed to be in direct services, but I do. I want to stay present. I want to know what's going on. And I want to show up for people. It's different when I'm like sitting on a computer and I'm reading the success stories rather than like being a part of it. Yeah. And it's like, I want to stay up to speed on how to navigate certain systems, because I'm just like, okay, I work here, but I don't know how to navigate the real world. If somebody were to come up to me and ask me for help or for support, I'm going to have to direct them to somebody else rather than knowing how to help them navigate.
Yeah.
Like the regular, it's like where I'm at now, I don't necessarily have to navigate those systems and stuff anymore, but I do miss it. I miss it a lot. I'm very grateful for where I'm at though, and the growth and the opportunities that have been bestowed before me. But yeah, I would be a mentor forever and ever if it fit my life today.
Right. Yeah.
No, we have to grow, right?
Yeah.
What I get from the group here, and I'm sure it's with others, but you all are very passionate. I feel the passion that you have for what you do. So I think that's awesome.
Jack, do you have a story? Because Luciano has to go, so we're going to have to.
No, I don't have a story because I'm with them such a short amount of time, and I'm new. So 3 months. So no, I just overall, I just love seeing people come in here. And
So I'm going to politely disagree with you.
what?
Yep. I seen you.
Look out.
No, I'm going to walk you down that path. I seen you show up and make a difference in somebody's life. I seen you really make a difference. I seen you show up consistently and celebrate their victories, and we'll keep their anonymity, but I seen you do it, okay, before you had this opportunity. I seen you do it consistently. I seen you do it when you cared. There is no wrong way to do that, and I seen you care huge, and I think you absolutely made a difference in this person's life. And yeah, I know this person didn't even get to speak to their family at one time, and now they're a part of it. So I'm going to politely disagree with you.
That is, yeah.
You may not have been in the position of a peer mentor, but you were a peer mentor, right? And I think we
was
all
thinking
are
about
to a
that.
certain
Yeah.
degree. We're showing people, hey, look at where I came from and look at where I am today. You know?
It almost becomes like a moral obligation
Yeah.
Truly.
when you
Yeah.
enter long-term sustainable recovery.
And to live your life the right way. I'm not saying perfectly, but to try to do the next right thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, integrity is my number one thing.
Same.
I live by it. It's hardcore.
Yeah.
same.
Integrity.
Being a manager of a Fortune 500 company, I won't get into political conversations with you or religion. Or who you sleep with. I respect it all. It's not my place to judge. It's my place to accept you for who you are. And I think in Oregon, Peter and I heard one of the greatest speeches, but I believe that everybody has the right to be themselves. Whatever
Authenticity
that
at
is.
its finest, yeah.
And that's what I want for people, period. Just to be able to be yourself, whatever that is. And I love you for that.
Well, when I think about how I want to be remembered, I know that people, when you die, people remember what you did, not what you had. They will remember what you did. And I wake up every day, especially in this job too, wake up every day and I get to make the choice to be the kind of person that I want to be. The kind of person that I would like to see exist. I get to do that. And yes, I do spend a lot of time thinking, okay, you know what? I could make this choice, but you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go the higher route because you only get one, for what I know, this is the first and final act of life. It's,
No,
might as well
I agree.
do.
I think your give back is more important than your get.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always.
And they say, like the situation on Jersey Shore, a setback is just ready for a comeback, right? Anything else anybody wants to
any
say before
closing
we
words?
say goodnight?
My closing word is that if you're sitting there and you're thinking about getting help, get help. Just go ahead and if you're local, come into True Colors. But you can go to anywhere, go to any meeting, go to any place where there's people. And if you go to that meeting or that place and you don't feel you fit in, go somewhere else.
Yes.
Go somewhere else.
Yes.
That's my closing.
I love that.
I'm going to piggyback on that. If you're looking for a place, you can just check our website because we have all of you on it.
That's a good one.
What you got, Ebony?
My closing is that you're worth it.
Oh, yes.
A lot of people don't feel like their life is valuable or they're a valuable member to our society, but we're all connected with this invisible string. So if you are alive, you matter. You're worth it.
And I've seen so many people, right, from all different walks, and they are everything. They just didn't know.
Yeah. My closing statement would be, even though we all have titles in some capacity in our organizations, you strip those away and you're just left with the peer, a person who's been through this, who's gone through that same road that you might be going through right now. And we're not here to judge you. We're here to help you. We're here to guide you. We're here to love you until you can love yourself.
I love it.
I love it. This is Julie.
This is Peter, and I want to thank all of you. I can't even believe that this is happening in my life.
Thank you for having us.
This is amazing.
Thank you for always showing up for us.
And on a Saturday, and thank you so much for being here and sharing and giving the listeners a little taste of what they can expect. You know,
I love it.
And
We're
what-
dealers.
Hope
Hell
dealers.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
dealers. I
that's-
love that one. That's Ebony.
That's Tony. That's Tony.
Actually,
That's Tony and Cody. I got to give it to him.
so Aaron Burrell.
In his Hope Dealer shirt?
and
with his
hat.
hat.
Yeah.
And I need one of those. Just saying that again. I need one of those. It's one of the only shirts I don't have. Yeah. Thank you again.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you for coming here.
And
Thank you, Recovery Podcast.
Thank you all for listening.
And that's a wrap on today's episode. Thanks to each and every one of you for lending us your ears and hearts. Your engagement is what fuels our passion and keeps this podcast thriving.
We cherish the moments we share here and hope they resonate with you, whether you're on a daily commute, at the gym, or just taking a moment for yourself.
Make sure to head over to our website at realrecoverypodcast.com. While you're there, subscribe to our newsletter for the latest insights and uplifting stories from our community delivered straight to your inbox.
Click that subscribe button on your favorite podcast player too, so you can keep up with every new episode. It's your support that keeps our conversation alive and meaningful.
And if our stories have touched you, consider using the donate button on our site. Your contributions, no matter the size, are deeply appreciated. They help us continue our mission of sharing hope and healing.
Join us beyond the podcast and follow our journey on social media. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and on X, formerly known as Twitter. All the links are on our site, so you can stay connected and be a part of the Real Recovery community every day.
Your likes, shares, and comments not only spread the message of recovery, but also remind us that we're all in this together.
So, until we meet again, remember that recovery is a journey, not a destination, and we'll be here to accompany you every step of the way to recovery, real recovery.
Thanks for listening.